Global warming, climate change is constantly affecting our planet today. Not only is it affecting us right now here in California, but the most evident that we can see it in is in the Arctic. In the Arctic, the oldest and the biggest ice cap that was made or was formed was the Ward Hunt ice shelf that has been around for 3,000 years. Not only has it been around for 3,000 years, but it was also the biggest. However, starting from the year 2000, because of the climate change, it has slowly been melting away. And in 2004 to 2005, it broke into little tiny pieces, and now it's totally gone. So if we look at that, we can see that global warming is actually something that's going on right now. According to Professor Nicole Richmond and Fiona Hines, they said that not only is global warming an environmental issue, but it's also a global economic issue and a human rights issue because it's such a big topic. People are constantly debating whether global warming is real or not, and even if people decide that it is real, people are constantly debating about what solution we should use to solve it because it's such a big issue. Today, I will argue that we should expand spending expenditures on geoengineering. There are 3 reasons why we should expand spending expenditures on geoengineering. First, I will argue that global warming is actually a problem and that it's slowly causing, or not slowly, but it's causing our Earth to be destroyed. Second, I will argue that geoengineering is a solution that we can use to stop global warming or reduce it as much as we can and stop the Earth from being destroyed. And third, I will also argue that geoengineering is not that big of a threat, or it's not a threat that most people make it out to seem, or make it out to be. First, I'll argue that global warming is actually a problem, and it's causing our Earth to be destroyed. Global warming is the greenhouse effect, and the gases being trapped inside and not being able to leave the Earth's atmosphere. An example would be when there's a car in the hot sun, and the heat travels inside but cannot escape because the glass is preventing it from doing so. Not only does this global warming affect and the climate change affect the environment, but it also affects the people and the animals living in it. In the countries near the equator, around 2 million people are killed annually because of malaria. Malaria actually comes from bugs. And with climate change, such with global warming, there will be new species of bugs or new species of animals that we don't know about. This will, just like malaria comes from bugs, these bugs will bring new diseases that we're not actually used to. Although we have modern technology to fight back and cure the sicknesses that we have right now, if there were new diseases or sicknesses to come, we'll still have that time period of trying to investigate it and trying to research about it, and it'll take a longer time to cure that disease as well. Not only is malaria or sicknesses like that a big issue, but because of the pollution being trapped inside the Earth's atmosphere because of global warming, things like asthma will also be a bigger issue with us constantly polluting the Earth's atmosphere and not being able to escape. Not only does global warming affect people, but it also affects the crops because of the climate change and the gases that are not being able to escape. Precipitation might change, and because of that, it will affect the water that we have in our Earth's atmosphere. There will either be a lot of flooding, or there could be a drought. Either way, it will affect us because droughting will automatically make the Earth dry, and because of that, we'll be affected. The animals will be affected, and the crops will be affected. With the limited water source, everything will slowly start to deteriorate and not get enough water as it needs. Flooding will also cause problems because it floods our crops, and there's only a certain amount of water is used when we're farming and using the crops. But with over access of water, it will destroy these. Okay, that was my first. Oh, not only that, but also the sea life will be impacted as well because the heat will travel inside the water but won't be able to escape, just like the car and the heat not being able to escape from the glass window. This, according to Regent Science, these are all effects from global warming. Secondly, I will argue that geoengineering is the solution to global warming and that we can stop the Earth from being destroyed. Geoengineering is actually a big-scale project offsetting the greenhouse gas effects. There are many different approaches to geoengineering, but one of the solutions that scientists have come up with is adding lime water into the seawater. Adding lime water into seawater, oceans, because of the carbon dioxide in the air, which is caused by global warming, the ocean has become very acidic. And if we add lime water into the ocean, then the lime water will act as a calcium hydroxide, and because of that, it will gather all the carbon dioxide in the air in the water, and it will reduce the amount of carbon dioxide going up into the air. Because of that, there will be less carbon dioxide, and according to Jim Turner from a London-based management consultant from a London-based Corbin, he has said that this will actually be an economical help by using lime water, because we have a lot of limestones that we could use, and there are many places that we can use it to actually experiment and do the actual experiment for it. Lastly, I will argue that geoengineering is not that big of a problem that many people put it out to be. Christopher Kokinos has argued that many people believe that geoengineering is too big of a project, and because it's such a big project and it has to be done on a planetary scale, we don't know what will happen to the Earth, and people are wary about actually practicing it. However, what he didn't state was that there has actually been an example of geoengineering before. In the Philippines in 1993, Mount Pupingo was a volcano that erupted. After it erupted, the sulfate and the gases that were emitted actually helped reduce the amount of global warming, and the environment was actually a little bit better than what it was before. If we look at this example, we can see that offsetting the greenhouse gas effects will actually make a difference. And if, according to the research done with Mount Pupingo, we'll see that offsetting these will actually help global warming and will reduce the global warming that's put off into the air, or that's in the air today. And it will help normalize the climate change and the effects that are going on with global warming. Today in my speech, I argued for expanding spending expenditures on geoengineering. First, I argued that global warming is actually a problem, and it's slowly affecting our planet and destroying it. Second, I argued that geoengineering is a solution that we can use to stop global warming from destroying our planet. And third, I argued that geoengineering is not that big of a threat as many people make it out to seem. The Republicans just lost a big election just last month, or just this past year. And if the Republicans were to side with, were to look more into global warming and expand spending expenditures on it, I'm pretty sure the public will be more open to looking at the Republican side of the story, and maybe more, it will help the Republicans win the next election.